Hi, Samantha here, and today I'm sharing a card I created that's up on the Lawn Fawn blog. I used the new Really High Five stamps and dies, as well as an older set called A Birdie Told Me, which is all the speech bubbles, and I love it. I love combining speech bubbles with any other image. I started, of course, by stamping my images with what is it? Let me see. VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I heat set all the images once I stamp them to keep the ink from running, but I had the hardest time picking images from this set because I wanted to use them all. And I almost made a very tall slimline card so that I could use them all, but ended up just going with that sweet, sweet bunny and happy little mouse. I couldn't resist. They were too cute. I also stamped both of the balloon images and a couple of the strings for the balloons. And party hats, of course. It's a birthday card. And that awesome trampoline for the bunny to do a cannonball on. I love it. I can't wait to make a card with that bunny doing a cannonball into a pool. So look for that. That's going to come. I had that idea as I stamped the images, and I was like, yes, this must happen. Of course, I colored my images with Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. As always, I sprayed some water onto my craft mat, used my water brush to blend out the color, and then wiped the color off from my water brush. I mentioned this before, but my water brush is actually empty. I literally just use it as a paintbrush. I could use just a paintbrush, but I am a creature of habit. I hate change. And so dried water brush it is. Let's go. Let's do it. I colored the bunny in some browns and added pink to his little cheeks. And then I decided to make the mouse in some light grays. And of course, pink cheeks. No surprise there. I love coloring balloons in reds and various shades of reds and pinks and corals, so I had to do that again. I just love the pop of red that it brings to a card. And then the party hats, of course, rainbow. Just a little nod to a rainbow. Like, hello, this card is by me. Can you tell? There's a little rainbow. You can see as I color the balloon that I only add color to, I don't know, half of it, a weird little crescent moon half, and then I use my water brush to drag out the rest of the color. That adds a little bit of shading and helps to keep the darker part of the balloon in one area and then the lighter part less concentrated with color, of course. I stamped 2 speech bubbles, but I ended up only using one. I ended up using just that tiny one for the little yay sentiment from the stamp set, and I love it. I think it's perfect. Perfect little exclamation for these party animals, as it were. I did keep the large speech bubble, and I'll save it and use it for another card. And I always like to color my speech bubbles with a little bit of shading at the bottom, and then drag it up to the top so that it's really, really light. In this instance, I did yellow because I felt like my card would need a pop of yellow, and I really like how that looks. So I think, good job, Sam. Let me just pat myself on the shoulder real quick. Yellow for the win. Next step, ink blending. I use Distress inks in Wilted Violet, Blueprint Sketch, and Peacock Feathers. I wish I really ink blended in this speed. That would save me a lot of time. However, that is not the case. I sped this up so that you wouldn't be bored. But as you can see, I started with the darker color at the top, went to the middle color, then the lighter color, and then back and forth. I don't know. Count with me, 15 times, 16 times. Not really, but I do like a very saturated background, so I just kept adding color and color. And then I did die cut out some stitched puffy cloud borders and stitched hillside border dies in white cardstock for my scene, and I was just lining them up to see where they would hit on the color. Did I need to add more purple? Did I need to add more blue? Just kind of seeing where it lined up, and then adding more color as needed from there. For my hill, I use Distress Ink in Mowed Lawn and Twisted Citron, and I just love that kind of limey green that it adds, especially against the peacock feathers. I think the peacock feathers is the perfect complement to that green. What was that color? Oh yeah, green. And I splattered some water on top to add some texture to the grass and the sky. And then I will also scatter some color drops. So I smush the ink pad onto my craft mat, use a wet paintbrush, pick up the color and splatter it on. And look, I'm done. Ha, just kidding. Time to add glue and adhesive and foam tape and all that fun stuff. First, I use the Lawn Fawn glue to attach the party hats, which automatically makes those animals that much cuter. Then I attached 2 of the balloon strings to the balloons, and then I attached the hills and the clouds. I used my tape runner to attach those, and then just snipped off the extra. And you may notice I use a lot of glue. Not just glue, I use a lot of adhesive. I am an adhesive user. That's what I do. I don't like my stuff to fall off. I know I probably use about 3 times too much adhesive, but it's all right. It's my supplies. I don't mind. It makes me feel better. I don't want someone to get the card and then the bunny fell off because the foam's tape didn't stick. So that's what I do. Okay, so then I snipped part of the balloon tail to make it look like it was hanging on the other side of the mouse. I snipped it in half so that there were 2 balloon strings instead of just the one. That was easy and fun to do. And then I stamped those little bouncy images around the bunny who's yelling yay. And then my next step was to decide how exactly I should add the birthday sentiment, because oops, I didn't plan for it. My bad. So I knew I was going to do a black banner. I just didn't know where it was going to go. So yeah. I use the it's your birthday. Yeah, it's your birthday sentiment. I heat embossed it in white onto some black cardstock, and then I cut that into a strip. I really like the pop of black against my bright colors. I think it adds a lot of contrast and fun, and it's me, it's what I do. And I popped that up on foam tape as well. And I was like, where should it go? Over the balloons, over the clouds, at the bottom. I ended up deciding to put it by the balloons. No, I'm sorry, by the clouds. And I'm happy with that. It probably had a better place to go, but I couldn't think of it at the time. And that's my card. I love it. Oh yeah, I guess I did put it on a card base, details. And that's my card. It's so cute. I love those little guys. I like the bright colors and the pops of the red, and I really like that yellow against the blue. And be sure to check this card out on the Lawn Fawn blog, and I hope it made you smile. Bye.